Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a slightly later than planned and anticipated, but actually, possibly you didn't anticipate a Q&Asa at all. So if you didn't, a surprise bonus Q&Asa. Welcome, everybody. This is a nice conversational show where we just talk about stuff, mostly games, but a little bit of whatever, back and forth. You can talk to me, you can talk to each other, and yeah, it'll be lovely. I'm not going to run through how it works beyond that because we're late starting. Something's happening. There's colours. It says, "Please distract my pain." Oh, Subway effed up your order. Please distract your pain. Distract you from your pain, I imagine. And I can't fix a sandwich, and I don't know what to suggest. But you can tell us about what you've been playing, and that will cover it. It's a character limit. That's quite a short, like a small character limit. That's mean. They put so much cheese. If that's the only way that they messed it up, that sounds okay. No, that could be a lot worse, right? And you can take cheese out. Problem solved forever. You want to talk to the skull above the gate in the background. I can't see my own background. You want to talk to the skull. I mean, it's a regular furnishing, just an adornment above a typical household archway. I don't think you'll get much of a conversation out of it. You could read the demonic text beside it, and you could try and talk to it, but oh, 2 Subways, both with too much cheese. I cannot offer sympathy nor empathy. But Gaming with Passion has resubscribed for 11 months over on Twitch. That's quite a long time as well. You don't need to do that. Thank you, I mean. I hope it's a Prime one. If you have Amazon Prime, then that's very helpful for anybody else that may have Amazon Prime and be wondering what to do with your free subscription. Excuse me. Can there ever be enough cheese? There can be enough cheese. There can. I've been there. I've done that. I've achieved it. And then my wife got mad at me. So, yeah, there can be enough cheese. It takes some effort to get there, but it's possible. How's everybody doing, and what has everybody been playing? Because that's the important. Why was she mad? Because she also had to eat the food. She wasn't actually mad. She doesn't really get mad. It was just a lot of cheese. Did you miss anything? Well, hard to say. Hard to say. I mean, if you're talking about specifically on Q&Asa, then no, we just started. You're absolutely fine. You're here on time. You've unfortunately got here just in time for some awful pun work. It's not too late to close your eyes. Guess what you've been playing? Skill and Panache. You're still on Grounded 2, Craig. I don't know. Have they added much to it? Are you just building stuff? I'm sure you will have been on Grounded 2, right? It's the correct answer, because you got bored of 33 Immortals when you realised you were the only one actually playing 33 Immortals. Pixel Slapper, you're early. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. So, what we're going to do is, I don't know. Talk about the stuff in the games. Craig, what do you do? Have you got like an objective in Grounded 2? Obviously, you're choosing to spend some time building and doing the extra bits and pieces, which is kind of one of the more appealing elements of a survival game for me, is doing the faffing around and just exploring the mechanics and building tools and things like that, rather than beelining the whatever campaign content it's got in place. But do you have campaign content and objectives in place to steer you through? I still like, of all the survival ones that I've played, my favourite in terms of like how it presents and guides is probably Power World. I have not played that many though, but in terms of giving you objectives to like introduce you to the mechanics and just push you along gently without being bossy, without being naggy, Power World did a good job of that. Had a good on ramp. We've got a Power World server and I haven't played it much at all. Should really do that, but it's also very light. It doesn't doesn't have any worthwhile story to speak of. It's not gripping or engaging in that way, whereas I'm sure some other survival games would do that side of things better. Do have the option today, and you don't have to take it, of course, but it is there for people that want to. We do have Discord up and running, so if anybody wanted to come and talk for a bit, then you can jump into the Q&Asa Discord thing. As always, it won't immediately put you live and broadcast you to the world. You can just watch the show from in there if you want, but it has an option to raise your hand, and if anybody wants to do that and come and talk with or without your face, then you can do. Typically nobody does that, and that's fine, so I'll probably forget and not notice. Wingbat, Shane, have you... oh yeah, I guess it makes sense that you can't have the other part of that. So Battlefield 6 is one that I've been playing as well. No, you may not come on and scream into the void. Have you seen the size of these headphones? That's not the void, that's my brain, which exists within said void, but is not the void and does not appreciate being screamed into. So probably not just screaming, but words, sure. Battlefield 6 is fun, actually, surprisingly so. I'm not a Battlefield fan, never have been a Battlefield fan. I played it a little bit. I'm an admirer of the Battlefields. I'm sure if you're here now, you've heard me say this before. I like the spectacle, but I'm not very good at them, and I just die an awful lot. Battlefield 6 is probably already the one that I've played. I don't want to say I played the most of it, because I've played like 3 hours or something. It's not an awful lot, but I have played a little bit of it, and I have had a good time. I don't understand why it's as messy as it is, but I like the atmosphere. Anybody played Whitestone? It's cheap. You're cheaper. What's Whitestone? I'm going to look at Whitestone, and then I'm going to get back to Battlefield 6, because there's stuff to say about Battlefield 6. It's on my list of things played, which means Whitestone. That's coming up with all kind of things that aren't a game. Here's one for a review of it. Whitestone, let's be more specific. Game trailer. Oh man, it would be so much easier to be specific if my fingers would do what they were told and type the damn games. Is it from somebody called David Mason? Wait, more stuff's happening. And I can't read it. Replicant, 23 months is either Subway and Xbox. I mean, yeah, everything. If you're reading this tweet with a Subway, then it's an Xbox. Or something like that, from what I read. I get the marketing messages confused, and typically trying to repeat the lines as an effective influencer should be doing, but it gets a bit confusing. I'm not up to date with the latest script. So this is that thing that you said. This is Whitestone that's on the trailer at the moment. It's got numbers, it's got shadows, it's got a quite big axe, and besides that, I don't know. I'm not sold on this trailer, I must say. I think this is like one person's little dream project, and that's nice. I'm happy for them. I would like to be them and achieve that, make something cool. But I'm not seeing this and thinking it's something that I'll play myself. It's like the anti-Hades. Like Hades if it were made in Roblox. And no, that's mean. I don't mean to be mean. This person made a thing. I'm not gonna speak down on it. Evening, Nate. How are you? What have you been playing? Pixel Slapper. So you're actually playing that. What is it? The trailer had a mix of some dialogue and some combat, which means I can take a certain amount of understanding of what the game is, but like how much of it is that combat experience? How much of it is telling you a story, that kind of thing? You know, what is this game? Are you enjoying it? Speaking of headphones, you dug out a great analog set tonight, as in a non-gaming proper. As it's analog, it's presumably a jack, either 3.5mm or one of them giant fuck-ass big ones that you stick into a you know, things you stick things into. Yeah, I used to have, actually very recently got rid of it. I used to have an old AV unit with a decent headphone jack that I used by this PC, but I found I never really used it, and I got rid of it a couple of weeks ago. Battlefield 6 and Supermarket Simulator. Supermarket Simulator within Battlefield 6, where you just run around in a supermarket. and pretend to do your shopping while war unfolds around you. Because that would make sense. It wouldn't at all make sense. So when I played this Battlefield, I went back between the beta of this and the actual release. I went back to 2042, the previous Battlefield from probably only a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know when it came out, but it felt really, really static by comparison, because you go into this one and it looks really, really good, as the Battlefield games always does, but it has an awful lot of stuff going on in terms of explosions and smoke and debris and buildings falling and all kinds of cool stuff. And it feels very like intense and well paced, except almost every mode that I have played is just chaos in a way that I can't pass. I'm always going to struggle. I've had this issue before that I've mentioned, where I cannot pass friend from foe when everyone's wearing camouflage, and some people might have a little blue dot and some people might not have a little blue dot, and some people are whatever. I never really know what's going on. I can't pass and pick targets very well in these games, so I'll never be good at them. But in Battlefield, there's like chaos to the flow of combat, because all of the modes are so generous in allowing people to just spawn wherever the fuck they want. Now, it's not strictly true. You need to spawn on your squad or on a location that you've got or whatever that's kind of safe at the time. But in play, it means you can be in any given position here, and your enemies can just spawn in anywhere on the map, in any direction, front, center, back, behind you, up above in a friggin' helicopter. There's no directionality to the combat. There's no I'm going this way, my opponents are likely to be between me and my objective. Between me and my objective probably has got opponents, but so is behind me and my left and my right and the buildings and anywhere else, because it's just blah, stuff happening all over. So I can't actually... I think I would be much happier in the modes that have a little more of a... I don't want to say structure, because I overuse that word, I feel, but a little more predictable, a little easier for me to anticipate who I'm supposed to be shooting and when they're likely to come from. And I think maybe the rush breakthrough kind of modes might give me a bit more of what I want. So I might actually, in fact, after Q&Asa, which is going to end in 6 minutes time, I might jump on Battlefield 6 at that point to have a little go. It's chaos. Yeah, it is. Have you played Battlefield 6 Replicant? Either now or in the beta? Or are you saying that Ghost of Yotai is chaos? I think you're saying Battlefield is. I don't like that degree of chaos, and it's weird because I'm used to like free-for-all death matches with like Quake 3 blasting around the map. Even then, you kind of knew where people were. People get frustrated if they play any game like a Call of Duty or I don't know, any game that has shooting in that has what you'd consider bad spawn points, or where you have like the opportunity to occasionally get spawn camped, or even just very rarely to just die as you spawn. Because it's frustrating, right? And people perceive that and go, oh, spawn camping, blah, terrible spawn points in this game. And it's in a map where there is no objective and you're running around doing a deathmatch or something. It's very difficult to mechanically say, like, just set the kind of rules on how you can spawn to ensure that people aren't spawning in line of sight of an enemy. But it's like, it's a solvable challenge, and you can kind of see and figure out how it works. But in a game like this, where it's big and people can choose where they're appearing, there's times where I spawn in literally in an explosion, and you get a tiny window of immunity. So I spawned in when I was playing it with JT on Sunday as he was exploded. So I spawned in and I was just like, what? This is messy. I prefer to know what I'm doing and what's happening. So, but it is awesome. It looks so impressive and feels so impressive. The shooting is good. Audio visuals are good. Noise everywhere, buildings falling, explosions happening, really, really damn slow progress. Oh, I'll tell you what did upset me on Battlefield 6 actually, is Discord. Because, you know, Discord has those little quests. A little quest popped up. It said Battlefield 6 quest. You can do this Battlefield 6 quest. And I was like, well, actually, I'm literally launching Battlefield 6 to play it right now. So I might as well accept this Discord quest. Not going to read it. Don't know what it does. See what happens. Maybe I get some of the little Discord orbs and buy myself a pretty picture on Discord, you know. And I played a bit of Battlefield, and then afterward, Battlefield, and afterwards I went into Discord claimed the reward, and it gave me a 2x experience boost in Battlefield 6. 2x experience reward. Consumable, faster progression items that presumably you can either buy or will be able to at some point, but it just made me a little bit sick to see it. I didn't redeem it. I cancelled it in a strut. I was like, fuck you. I'm not having this. I'm just going to pretend that this doesn't exist within the game because I hate it and everything that it stands for. So that was a bad thing, and the progression is generally slow. Several people that have played it a lot more than I have, like Amin has played it for 100 hours already somehow, has observed that the progression to unlock new guns and attachments and all the rest of it is very, very slow. But yeah, not if you pay for XP boosters. Battlefield has had those since Battlefield 4. Yeah, and I didn't like it back then, and I still don't like it, and I'm going to continue to dislike it forever and ever and ever. Dr. Scottsy, that's an interesting point, that you think people hate Battlefield 6's competition more than they actually like Battlefield 6. So you're presumably referring to Call of Duty, which has... it's weird because from my perspective, it's got a long history of people not liking it because I personally don't like it. And I surround myself with my own opinions. So generally I'm like, oh, there's a massive consensus in this room that Call of Duty is blah. I don't like it very much. It needs to do this, it needs to do that, whatever the opinion may be of the moment. It needs to sort its matchmaking, it needs to add some destruction, it needs to change the game, needs to unchange and stay more stable and remember what Call of Duty is and all these other things that people want for Call of Duty. And then all of that has been mixed in a little bit in the whole what would you call it, like the tribal kind of, it's not necessarily console war-y, but obviously it is to an extent, but the teams changed a little bit when Microsoft acquired it, so it gets a fair amount of like spotlight hate, partly for being mainstream and big as it is, partly for being affiliated with one particular console over another or whatever, and partly because people just like to see big things fail, and partly because Activision are dickheads and it deserves a little bit of hate. So Replicant, you liked the Black Ops 7 beta. See, I was surprised that I quite enjoyed Modern Warfare 3 when that arrived on Game Pass, because I hadn't played Call of Duty, I don't care for it very much. But I had a decent time doing community games on Modern Warfare 3. And then there was a nice little buzz when Black Ops 6 came out on Game Pass, and we all gave it a little go. And I didn't very much like that as much. I didn't like 6 very much. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 that is, not Battlefield. So I played that and I went, it's like this Omni movement that they seem to have given up on this time around was a nice idea that felt a bit shit. I remember we were playing community games, and I think it might have been Wandering Dutch, had his body crumpled into a corner. So I'm like, corpse, ran past, and then got shot and was like, what? This game is awful. But it wasn't just that. Something about it just didn't feel as... just didn't feel as good as Modern Warfare 3 did, which felt pretty nice in the shooting. Black Ops 7 beta, we played a little bit, and I think it was better. Not necessarily better than Modern Warfare 3 was, not necessarily worse. I'm not doing a direct comparison, but it felt better than Black Ops 6. Like, the movement was closer to where it should be, and it just was nicer. So I'm optimistic. I didn't like the many pitfalls and holes in the level, so you can very easily die. You've only just realised what AFK means. Oh, Pixel Slapper, to be young. To be young. Assuming you've guessed correctly, but I will accept some wrong answers if anyone wants to think up some good ones. Your COD playing friends agree that Modern Warfare is best. But they've been purists that are like, oh, Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360 was the only one that was fun. Or does Modern Warfare 3 count in that? I'm a fucking knife. Yeah, I mean, it would be a strange interpretation in most contexts. I guess often people just put AFK, actually. So, surprised reaction to finding a knife, yeah. Lazy fuckers type the full words. No, because you're not there. You can't type the words if you're AFK, that's the point. You just got it as you're away. Away French kissing. That's, yeah, that's always what I've meant when I pressed it. It's always been what's happening. No. What am I talking about? Gaming with Passion. Did you know that Vince Zampella worked on a cancelled Half-Life game, something like Blue Shift and Opposing Force? Of course I knew that. I mean, I know everything that Vince Zampella has ever worked on. And everything about Half-Life and Call of Duty and pretty much anything that there is to know. I know. Now we're getting somewhere. Adrenaline-fueled kleptomania. Wait. One moment. Kleptomania. Mental health disorder characterized by an uncontrollable urge to steal items that are often not needed. Okay, sure, I'll take it. I assumed that I wanted to be careful what I was saying because you're frequently disgusting. Scotty, you've always preferred Battlefield because your aim sucks. If you can't support by healing or driving, then you're a total liability. See, I always feel completely inconsequential in Battlefield. That has always been my problem with it. So, loops. So in Battlefield, I can play really, really badly and see victory pop up, or I can think that I'm doing all right and suddenly a defeat pops up. I've never done well, so I'm not going to say that I can do well and be defeated, but it doesn't feel like it makes that much of a difference. The vehicles are appealing and the spectacle is always brilliant. And you see other people clip these Battlefield moments where they're leaping out of helicopters and shooting rocket launchers and cool things are happening. That's never been what it is for me. But I like the concept. And the reality of it is I feel completely inconsequential, run around for a bit, die for a bit, wonder why I'm still doing it. Wonder what else I could have used that time for that might have felt a little more productive. Carry on for a bit and then give up. So some of that is still true of the current one, but the atmosphere is impressive enough that I'm going to keep going while there are people on and playing it. But part of me does prefer, like, to an extent, the less players there are, the more important you are. And you can go to the extreme of doing like 1v1 in arena games, and it feels good if you're feeling that level of competitive. I like a 1v1 game if I'm feeling that level of competitive. In terms of team stuff though, like 4v4, 5v5, that's the kind of number that works for me, that I have most fun with in terms of a multiplayer that I would potentially get into to try hard, to be a sweat. I don't see the point of being a sweat on a game like Battlefield, because you can do that and it will mean very little. But back in the Battlefield 1942 days, a good healer or driver could define the match. Maybe. But is that cool? What are the other 63 people doing? Attacking friends knavishly? They might be. Yeah, I mean, like, I know you're good at it and you kill loads of stuff and things are happening, and then you get defeat pop up and go, well, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I had fun in this war. Nonetheless, yeah, I quite want to play some Battlefield. Might do some this evening. If I'm still awake at the end of Q&Asa, we'll jump on it. Dr. Scotsy, do you like Call of Duty? What's your position on the Battlefield Call of Duty kind of rivalry, difference, whatever it may be? A university in the UK got OTS or score up because... Oh, it got its score up because it banned rugby players. Guys, shush. The university banned rugby players and they ended up with better academic results, I'm assuming. That's too much to unpack. Can't get into that right now. Recon spotting enemies is decent as well. So when I'm playing the current one, I use recon because I am then accidentally spotting enemies for my own benefit. Don't care about the rest of my team. If I spot enemies, then they've got a little red triangle and I can see where they are. That works for me. I know to shoot them. So I quite often play as recon just for that reason. I'm not very good at recognizing where the people are otherwise. You don't care if you win or lose when you play Call of Duty because you don't play ranked. It's weird because I understand that, like the motivation of ranked, climbing that and having it be more official and formal and all the rest of it. I get it. At the same time, I cut my teeth on Quake 3 where ranking wasn't a thing You didn't even have a profile that tracked how good you were over time. Like, it just was not a thing. It was just about getting in with that little community, and you could build a reputation. Like, it's not that being good was completely meaningless, because you'd be playing on a server with a relatively small subset of people, and you could get a reputation within that community. People organized leagues. There were a lot of what was the mod set called, the orange one that was around, that all of the team games had for Quake 3 Arena, for the team deathmatch kind of leagues and stuff. All of that was there. It was all structured and organized by the community, but the game itself had nothing, right? In terms of ranked modes and progression, and you could still play it as lightly or as seriously as you wanted, and it was happy times. So I can understand still wanting to win or play well in the unranked modes, just because you don't care for the pressure of the persistence of a rank, I suppose. Absolutely fine. Kidding. Evening, Pete. What are statistics anymore? It's ridiculous. I mean, I wouldn't dismiss the entirety of statistical data, but you know, they're just a part of life, I guess. Unless you're, I don't know, I'm losing topics. Oh no, it's episode 12. Have you finished Skyrim? Episode 12. I haven't finished Skyrim. I've never finished Skyrim. Because if I were to finish it, how would I die inside of it? Which is still how I anticipate I'm going. I didn't know you'd got away from episode 12. I thought you still had another couple of days to go before you could get rid. Anyway, Battlefield 6, fun game. Might play it after this. If anybody wants to jump in, say words on Discord like, I want to jump in, and then I'm even more likely to do it. I should stream it. My issue with streaming Battlefield, on the plus side, it's potentially very clippable if anything good does happen, but the downside is an awful lot of bad happens, and people can see it if I stream it on the internet. I'm not good at that game. But Hades, I'm not good at Hades either. I've pretended for a while, but I've exposed myself as being average playing Hades 2. But I have finished it now. Finished. Rolled credits. Got its ending so that I can formulate more valid opinions, I would say. And I have many, and I will put them into a review. Yeah, don't complain about having socks. I don't know where that's come from, I'm lost. You're doing Skyrim mods. I mean, you have to, right? Skyrim was supposed to be modded. It was made to be modded. You can take the loss of achievements as like fair trade for the non-achievements that you got from your idle games. Skyrim's not an idle game. Or you could mod it to be an idle game, but that would suck. You want to play Minecraft, but you're sad and cheese poisoned. I don't see how either thing would stop you playing Minecraft. But I can see how it would make one or both things worse. So, no recommendations from me. Looks like coffee mixed with beer. Coffee mixed with beer. Pete, you can't accuse me of complete nonsense and then tell me to get a grip. Just because it looks like coffee mixed with beer to you does not mean that's what it is. Come on, Pete. It's just the coffee. It's a latte. It's got a bit of a froth on the top, but it is nothing to do with beer. Grip. Successful? I don't know. I'm doing alright. Yeah, Hades. Did it. Did it get better as I anticipated? Partly, in some ways. And less than I anticipated in other ways. I anticipated more from the combat, more from the build variety as it went, because I thought early days that there was a lot of potential for the builds to be more wild than they were in the first one, more diverse, more special, because there were just more things to play with. Come the end of the game, I don't think it did pan out that way, really. I don't think the builds really did have a massive influence on how I approached any given situation in it, or how any run felt to run through. Which isn't a strong criticism. That's quite a subtle, like, getting right into the nitty-gritty of what makes Hades fun to run through. I'm going to review it, and it is still going to be strongly recommended as a game overall, because it's still cool as fuck. It's really good. It's really, really good. Really, really good, despite a couple of frustrations. But the first one is still better. From start to finish, I think. From start to finish. Second one is bigger, but everything else kind of favours the first one for me. Do I play Lego games? I've not really. What is going on with the socks? Is Hades my game of the year? Too early to say, Replicant. It's only October. Calm down. Calm yourself right down. So, Lego games, I've played when they were like a little bit fresher. A couple of them. But they were made and structured so that they had no challenge to them very deliberately. Right? The ones that I'm familiar with, Rasputin's beard. Oh no. I know who that is, but I don't know who that is. Yeah, I do. Oh, that kind of socks. I understand. Thank you, Rasputin's beard. Yes, the OST is singing. I can't be bothered to stop it. Right. Right. What was I just saying? Lego games. So the older ones, I played a couple of them. Maybe Star Wars, maybe Batman, maybe a Marvel one. And they were structured so that you had a health bar, you had like 3 hearts or whatever, but there was no consequence to losing them. You just would respawn with 3 hearts again, then 2 hearts, then 1 heart, and then you broke and you respawn with 3 hearts. An infinite loop of just being able to push forward in your own pace, with a very kind of tedious format to its puzzles, where each little area you'd go and would have some enemies, and then there would be like 2 interactive things that required a different character from the roster to go and interact. And then they'd obviously retell familiar stories with a quite friendly little humour twist on them. And it was okay for a time. I played a couple of them. But it wore thin and I stopped. And this was probably 70 years ago that I last played one. So they may have changed by then. And from what I gather from what we've seen of the Batman one that's coming, they showed it and I was like, Lego Batman still, we've had so much Lego Batman. But they do specifically appear to be trying to draw in the Arkham fans by adding proper combat and challenge and health and like actually challenging the formula. So that kind of mainline series of Lego games, I don't even know how you define it as like a subgenre, but that kind of Lego game. I don't play, but I might play Batman. I have played in the past. I understand them, I know them, I get the appeal, but I haven't played one for a while. But Lego is obviously very broad, and there are other Lego games, including the party game that came out very recently, and the co-op platform game that came out very recently. Those bear very little resemblance to Lego Batman and Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Lord of the Rings and Lego Harry Potter and Lego all the rest of them. They're quite different experiences, and yet they are Lego. So yes, I play Lego games. I'd like to play the Lego Party one. And Rep asked if Hades 2 is my game of the year so far. I hope not. That's my answer. I hope not. But the ones that should be contenders, I haven't finished Expedition 33. I haven't even played it for like a month and a half or something. I really need to get back to that and get on with it. Because I was enjoying it. I just haven't played it because it didn't fit the stream schedule. So I need to get on with that. Same for Final Fantasy 16. Not a contender for Game of the Year this year, but I was enjoying it and I have stopped and not played it for weeks. Need to get back to it. But the one that I think is most likely to challenge, Expedition 33, but also Split Fiction I haven't played. And there's a fair chance that, from the way that everyone talks about it, it's like it's forgotten about because it came out in February, so it doesn't very often come up in these kind of Game of the Year conversations. But I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about it. So there's a fair chance So if I play it late in the year, I'll be like, oh shit, it's that one for me. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to play it and find out. But if Hades 2 were to win it, I'd be surprised. I liked it a lot. I played it a lot. I got on with it a lot. I've not played Death Stranding 2, so that's not a contender for me. I can't fraud it and just put what the people expect in my list, you know. I know I've not played Split Fiction 2 either. I'm aware that I can't put that up as Game of the Year, and I'm not. But it's one that I think could challenge it for me. Could challenge it, so I don't really want to pick until I've played these things. Death Stranding 2. I don't know. I'm not into them yet. Not into them yet, and they're quite daunting. You'll be shocked if Keeley doesn't push for it. Oh yeah, not talking about who actually wins it in his awards or whatever. That's meh. In terms of what my favourite is for the year and what all of your favourites are for the year, that's a more interesting conversation. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't completely dismiss Death Stranding, but I have to play the first one before I play the second one, and that's such a lot of walking. That's such a lot of walking. Not talking about the best game, we're talking about Game of the Year. Yeah. And Hades 2, it's because it's clearly just it's iterative over the first one. It's more of the first one, so I'd be reluctant to like overly award it. Much as more of the first one is what I wanted, and much as I appreciate more of it, feels silly awarding it. And it depends though, because this is one of the things with Game of the Year awards. It's never been very well defined on what it actually means to be a Game of the Year. Maybe that shouldn't be to its detriment at all, that it's more of the same. But for me, it kind of is, right? Game of the Years that Ace has played, yes, which narrows it down to just Hades 2 and Dreams of Another that I reviewed the other day. Between those two, Hades 2 is Game of the Year. What else is there? What's going on? I don't know. I don't know where I am anymore. I don't know where I am or what's going on. Too busy screaming, falling in the toilet. I don't think I've done any of those things. AC Shadows and Doom. Oh, I forgot about Doom. Doom's a decent shout. I wouldn't put Doom higher than Hades 2 at the moment. But I liked it. Mostly. Oh, difficult. I'm sure there have been other ones that I finished this year as well. And for me, if it were to be like personal loves, then Final Fantasy Tactics would be up there as a contender as well. Again, on the list of things that I haven't played, but things that are there looking appetizing. So Split Fiction looks very appetizing, and Final Fantasy Tactics is very appetizing. Nom 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 nom. I'm not making myself hungry. I've eaten. The thought of eating more food has made me slow and heavy now. So you'll have Rebirth this year. I played that last year though. I kind of adore it as a Final Fantasy VII nerd. Don't know how other people that weren't already into the IP would possibly enjoy that one with its mini games and pacing. But for me, as a big nerd fan, I loved it very much. But it was last year for me. I played it on the PlayStation when it came out, so I have got the PC version queued up, ready for a replay one day. I'm not ready. Maybe towards the launch of the next one. Will I play the Assetto Corsa Shadows DLC? Will I play the Ace Combat Shadows DLC? Will I play the Astron's Cool Shadows? If it's Astron's Cool Shadows, I'll absolutely play it. I would love to. Will I play the Animal Crossing Shadows DLC? Probably not. Will I play Assassin's Creed Shadows DLC? I've not played the base game, so I'm going to say no. But I wouldn't mind. Like it's kind of appealing as Assassin's Creed games go, but only kind of appealing. Only as Assassin's Creed games go. Mostly I just want to see it and I want to break stuff, rather than actually play through its open world or its campaign. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe the campaign is actually good and tells a good story. But Don't know. Big ass game, little ass time. I do have the Ubisoft subscription. I'm unable to cancel it because it gives me a 404 error every time I try and view the cancellation page, and I'm lazy and I haven't sorted it out yet. Really, I should be cancelling that. But I have the subscription. I have access to Assassin's Creed. I have no imminent plans to play it. I called you disgusting, did I? That sounds mean. What else? What else? They're the things that I've been playing. Is there any gaming news going on this week? More and more leaks about the new Steam VR. Yeah, I've seen that's like the leaks around its production line and all the rest of it, and third-party accessories getting compatibility coming along the way as if it's coming pretty soon. Renders of the controllers and things like that. So hopefully it is soon. I'm not a fan of the I'm ready for a new VR headset. Not financially ready for a new VR headset. But aside from that, I wouldn't mind a lighter one than the Quest 3 with its particular strap that I've got for it at the moment. Got a list for what I haven't played. Your piano needs tuning. There's so much, unfortunately. That list will be too much to get through. Yeah, there's a lot that I haven't played. I'm also really bad at keeping track of what has happened within the space and spans of a year. The spans of a year. Shut up, I can make up words, you know what I mean. Coffee's finished. I think you'll find that was mostly beer. Do I think it'll be expensive? What, the Steam frame? Yeah, probably. Probably expensive, especially as it looks like they're going for onboard hardware for it. Onboard processing and nonsense for people that want it like that. Which I don't. I just want a nice dedicated PC VR headset myself. Don't care for the onboard stuff. Would much rather have something light and quality. But there aren't exactly a lot of options on the market, so I'll take whatever I can get. And by it, I'll take whatever I can get. I mean, I'll look on wishing that I could have whatever I could want. Yeah, maybe I can. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, don't threaten me with Minecraft. 253 days is quite a long time, though. What, That's it. That's all the news you got for me. That there might be a VR headset. There's actually, what's the day today? It's the 14th today. So in a couple of days, I think, or maybe today, I get my numbers confused. Reach comes out for VR, right? So an actual probably good VR game is coming out this week. Single player though, single player adventure. So not much good for the social stuff and the things that we need to get going in the community. But in terms of just having something to play in VR, that's probably so worth looking at. Play Keeper. I don't want to play Keeper, but Pete wants to play Keeper and he promised to stream it in Discord. Right, Pete? Right. The new ROG Allies this week. What the Xbox Ally thing is releasing this week. Curious. I have no more thoughts on it that we haven't already explored. Is anyone getting one? Anybody here plan to get it? I saw Replicant, you got your claw went back, right? And you got the same one as Luke, the Lenovo Gen 2 thingy thing. I don't review things apart from Hades 2, which I am looking to review. You attempted to play Raz tonight. If you know. Wrong answers only. The claw had a busted speaker. I see. That sucks. From what you played aside from the speaker though, and from what you saw of the screen, did it hold up well against the one that you've got now, the Lenovo? Are you glad that it kind of landed this way and you had to swap? Or would you have been happy with the claw? Dr. Scott, so you're a lifelong Schaefer fan. Every time you're not sure, you end up being wrong. So that's because you didn't play Psychonauts VR. Where I was wrong. I thought maybe this will be worth a go, and I launched it and the buttons didn't work, so I never got through it. It said press A. It's an early VR game, so it played with like an Xbox controller. I think. It didn't have proper like hands and stuff. And I couldn't get it to do anything, so I gave up in the end. Maybe I should go back and try it at some point. The lighthouse one, and it's like Tim Burton style. I don't know, just like it's, I don't know. I don't want to be a lighthouse. I don't want to do puzzles. That's all I've got. That's why it's not like on my list very high. I get that there might be something there. Particularly, it's launching really close to Little Nightmares 3 and Reanimal as well. And I consider it to be like the same mini genre as those, like a walking platformer. Right? I make thumbnail? No. For what? I just said I'm not going to do it. I don't want to review that one. I would have been happy with the claw. Okay, cool. I'm back to having no good justification for having a handheld device at the moment. So the Lenovo and the claw and the Ally are all off the table for me. For time being. A seagull, a lighthouse, and you're all in. But Pixel Slapper, if there were a seagull and a lighthouse and it was made by Platinum Games, would you be all in? Go outside? I don't wanna. Why go outside? What? Yeah. No. No. Play a portable game. It's not for portable games. It's for regular games. And it makes them portable. That's like a subtle but distinct difference from a portable game like Pokemon Go or something. Like something that's made to be mobile. Am I going to try the Arc Raiders Server Slam this weekend? I've not played the beta. I'm probably not going to play the Server Slam. I'm not one for playing things before they come out if I can help it. This is multiplayer, so if there are a bunch of people that are wanting to play it, I mean it's restricted to 3, so it's not likely that there'll be any demand to jump on and play with people. I can break my rules on what I do and don't play early if it's for the sake of like catching a social wave or making content or something like that, but I don't think that's going to be the case with Arc Raiders for me. I guess as I'm very much on the fence on whether I should end up owning that game or not. So for my own benefit, it might make sense to sample it if I can get time to see if it's a thing I'm into or not. Extraction shooter though. Not convinced. Does it have? I know it's made by Wasm Faces. Wasm Faces, the ones that did the finals. Does it have destruction and stuff? Lots of people from the community are going to play it. I'm sure. I'm sure they are. I know Pete's planning to as well with family, right? And that's a joy. Embark, yeah, that's the fellas. Because obviously the finals is like really good for its stuff falling apart. Blowing things up is fun in the finals. I can ignore the combat, pick up a nice explosive barrel, throw it at a wall, and watch the devastation and go, yeah, I'm content. This is what I want to see. And Ark is obviously a very different game, but has any of that come across? Am I still subscribed to the best game out of Final Fantasy XIV? How do I find out? The issue with Final Fantasy XIV is it's always been a massive pain in the ass to go through its login systems. Whatever, what's the Square one called? Little like side platform that they use to operate the game. Finals is still your go-to game, even with Battlefield 6 out and very good. Evening Baz, evening Baz. Wait, there's a community gaming with Persona. There's a community gaming with Persona. Oh no, my tags will come through wrong. Gaming with Passion. Yeah, there's a community Pixel Slapper. We got Discord and stuff, and people play games, and it's a joy. It's a joy. But Mog Station, that's the one. I can't remember how to log on to Mog Station to cancel my subscription, so I probably still have it. Although I haven't seen charges for it, so I may not have it. It may be cancelled and gone. I don't know. I should really get on top of this stuff, being as messy as I am. Yeah, I'll have a look into it. See what I can cancel. No one likes Mog Station. That is true, Chronic. That is true. Anyway, plenty of old school Battlefield Levolution vibes in the finals. So Levolution was like scripted though, wasn't it? I've not played much finals. It has impressive destruction, but I thought it was all freeform. I didn't know there were like kind of scripted events to change the level, because the Levolution thing was like you'd knock over a particular building and some pathways would change, or you'd make something flood, or something specific that could happen, like a second state for the level. Whereas the finals I thought was entirely freeform. You bet the last time that I was on the finals was when we played, it probably was Baz. We might have played it once since. No, I think we played it once since without you being there. Destruction is physics based in the finals, yeah, but Levolution was it's not that it wasn't physics based, it was just that it was scripted. Obviously, like, canned physics isn't the same as having it play out in the game, but the Battlefield that introduced Levolution did have physics based destruction as well. It just had some like showpiece events, didn't it? Showpiece scripted things. But I get what you're saying. I know, we're on the same page. We are on the same page. Personally, you like my 24-hour Forza video? 24-hour Forza video? You mean the time-lapse of the sky in Forza Horizon? One of my most popular videos ever. How about that? It's obviously not a good video, it's just a time-lapse of Forza Horizon, but... very easy. I should do more of those then. Make it a channel dedicated to time lapses of games with day-night cycles. Not going to. Not going to. Glad you liked it though. Pain in the butt trying to keep the game from going into screensaver, you're not moving mode. What else? Yeah, so I'm not going to play Keeper, not going to play Arc Raiders, I'm not going to play Ghost of Yotai, not going to play... What else is coming out this year that I can refuse to play? Not going to play Call of Duty, not going to play... Realistically, I'm going to play Call of Duty. It'll come up in community games. I'm just being negative, you know, just refusing everything that gets mentioned. Not going to play Skyrim. Skyrim time-lapses, it doesn't have... I actually can't remember what happens in terms of time in Skyrim. It must have time. I don't remember having particularly impressive like dynamic lighting and stuff there. Should play Yotai. Yeah. When's Ninja Gaiden out? And when's Outer Worlds 2 out? I know various people have been declaring that they have the game in that really cringy social media way. And it's these big declarations that you should ignore them from all sorts of people. But so be it. Better to be open and honest about it, I suppose. Your tiptoeing through the tulips. Hard to find gamers these days. I'm one of them. I'm a gamer. I played all of Hades 2. Ninja Gaiden 4 is the end of the month. So I do want to play Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm not sure in what capacity, to what extent. Kind of depends how good it is, I suppose. And obviously, like, it sitting on Game Pass makes it nice and easy to try and find out. Outer Worlds 2 is actually quite high on my list of things that I want to play. I know I said I'm going to be negative and dismiss everything, but I liked the Outer Worlds. And the Outer Worlds 2 has to be high on my list as a consequence or result of that. Of course, I want to play Outer Worlds 2, but I haven't played Avowed yet, and that's also been really high on my list since before it came out. And I've got Final Fantasy Tactics queued up as my next fun game. Although I still want to play all of the... I only did Final Fantasy 1 and 2, so I still need to do 3, 4, 5 and 6 as well. I've got a lot to do. Got Chronos yet? No, not got Chronos yet. That's kind of slipped through my fingers now. Because realistically, with all the games that I've got in front of me, I can't see when I'll loop back to Chronos. Which isn't to say that I don't want to play it, and isn't to say that I never will play it. But I can't see where I can slot it into the schedule. Johnny got me... What's the vampire game called? Vampire, it's a survival game. But it's an isometric one. And you're a vampire. It's called Vampire... It's not called Vampire Survivor. It's called... V-Rising? V-Rising, maybe. So I've got that to play because I've been gifted it, so I should definitely play it. Oh, bollocks. I've barely played Borderlands 4. Come on. I've got to get that one done. I was enjoying that. So yeah, Kronos is not... Kronos? That's the boss from Hades. Stop confusing me. It's one of the bosses from Hades. Just play Keeper and enjoy the journey. But what if it's got puzzles? What if I have to shine the light at a flower to open the flower and create a path for the bird to... Why would the bird need a path? Why would you need to light up a plant to make a path for a bird? Birds can fly, Pixel Slapper. This is nonsense. This game is nonsense. It makes no sense. The bird can fly. And the lighthouse is a lighthouse. I don't know. It's there. It's going to be on Game Pass, ready. It's probably not a huge download. It's hopefully not a huge game. And maybe I'd have a wonderful time. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. When does that one come out? If you get time, Kronos is a cool sci-fi survival horror. It's funny because Kronos is the Titan of time, so it's exactly what I need. If I could get that power, I could play all of the games. All of the games. And whatever else Kronos does. You haven't started Starfield. Okay, that's fine. I'm also slacking on my Starfield duties. So, shame on us both. I did start it. I did get stuck on a planet. I did get a little bit further than that. It didn't really... To be fair, it's not my fault that that game didn't grip me. But yeah, I've still got some Starfield to go. One day. And that's the game you're supposed to play through multiple times, right? To get the most out of it. Whew. Like Silent Hill F, which I also haven't got to. Not like Hades. But also like Hades, you have to play through multiple times. Games are long, you know? Games are really, really long. When I think about Final Fantasy 16 and Expedition 33 and Hades 2. Hades 2, Amin was asking earlier if I think that the people that have already reviewed it had actually played the entirety of it. And it's only like 30, 40 hours to do the entirety of it to the true ending, I would say. So it's not actually longer than most games to get there. But typically 30 to 40 hours, games are really long. So often. And it's a strange thing because I don't know if I want that to change or not. I love it when a game is shorter. You know, I liked playing Hellblade 2 being 5 or 6 hours or whatever. Lovely. Silent Hill F is supposed to be like 10 to 12 hours maybe to get through, but you are supposed to loop it. You're supposed to keep going on that one, I think. Could be wrong. Don't know a lot about the game, so don't hate me for spoiling things I don't understand, because I don't understand. That's long. And could you tell a story like what have I just played? Hades, you could definitely have afforded to be a little bit shorter. But would the industry benefit from streamlining these things a bit, cutting some of that budget out and making the games just tighter, shorter experiences? Do I want that? Or do I want the games that I grew up with that are... I mean they're typically bigger now. Final Fantasy VII was a big game when I grew up, and it's not that big. And it has a lot of bloat in it as well. Well, I don't know what I want. WoW Legion remix is out. Yeah, but who played Legion? No one wants Legion to be remixed. Legion is the one that came out when we were already, like, past it, right? The remixes didn't need to go beyond Wrath of the Lich King, which was the only one anyone cared about. Some people cared about the ones before it, Burning Crusade and that. Nobody cared about Cataclysm and Beyond. Why are they remixing, like, Mists of Pandaria and Cataclysm and Legion? It doesn't matter that it's good. It's not the point that it's good. The Legion content was still fine. Like, go and play Legion. I don't know. I know you can't very easily go and play Legion in the main game. I know all the pacing is all to shit and all the rest of it. So, but it's too much. I don't know where you go. The thing with the remixes on World of Warcraft and the classic as well, like all of it, MMOs in general, is part of the appeal is always the permanence of character. For me, that's why I've always liked... It's always felt like if you were playing an MMORPG, and you were spending hours just grinding nonsense, it was okay because you were going to keep that forever. That character was like your character forever, or one of your characters forever. You could have as many as you wanted, but the time that you put into them was always there. World of Warcraft kind of damaged that with the way that it handled its expansion packs, the way that it what's the word for, like, the way that it helped you catch up. It negated a lot of that kind of ownership of your grind anyway by always kind of boosting your character onto the latest part of the treadmill over and over and over again. But to have it all broken and splintered into Classic and Legion, blah, 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 I have no confidence that any time that I put into a character in that is ever going to feel like it was worthwhile. And that's silly, right? Because games don't need to be worthwhile. There's value in them being fun in the moment. But I don't know, it's just a thing. I got so used to sticking thousands of hours into an MMO character and being pleased with that, I can't do it otherwise. Pixel Slapper, when there's no choice, long games take the barren world. But yeah, I mean, games are different, aren't they? Some of them benefit from a big world, some of them do it well, some of them have reason for it, some of them pack it with good quality content, and some of them are just horrible, nasty padding. But MMO RPGs were destined to walk that road. You say enjoy the fun you had along the way. Yeah, the one that I put all the thousands of hours into, it closed down entirely, right? So I get that it's not that wise to invest time in it with the idea that time will, and that character will persist and remain. But it's still what I want, and I can't bear the grind otherwise. Have I seen the new best battle royale final sentence? What's final sentence? I should see it. Give me a minute. Is this? Oh, we'll talk about Steamfest in a minute, actually. But final sentence. Wait, let me reread that. Battle royale. So it's a battle royale is a bad start. Final sentence. Official demo launch trailer. Not from any of these places. What are these channels? Get fucked. Who makes it? I don't want all of this bollocks. Wait, my wife might have said something. Let me take one headphone off in case she says something again. Final sent. Wait. I don't think she's talking to me. It's okay. Trailer. Trailer. Trying to read my own type in there. And what? There's a movie. Don't make me put on. Fine. That's a cinematic trailer. I don't want it. Demo launch trailer. I don't want to launch this channel, but I'm going to. So, Battle Royale. Final sentence. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? I mean, it's got to type in. Oh, okay. If you type wrong, you get killed. Typing challenges like Typing of the Dead, but in a battle royale. So this is like Tetris Connect. You know, I have seen it. Chronic, you're correct in that I'm absolutely ripe for being set up in that way. It's too late. I did it. Ultima Online, Dark Age of Camelot. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Losing your experience for dying is, again, that was always a little bit harsh, but that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I want to see Ashes of Creation and see if they managed to retain that in the way that they wanted to. Pixel Slapper, you're so disappointed in Pan's Dragoon Zwei from what you've seen. Not bothered. Deep down, you know the Saturn version is what it is. So, as in the remaster of it, right? I've not seen anything of the remaster of it. I didn't particularly like the original Zwei or the original Pan's Dragoon. I loved Pan's Dragoon Saga. I loved the atmosphere of the first one and Zwei and Auto as well. I think, what's his face? Utaguri or whatever. No, that's not his name. Who's the guy that makes them? Pan's Dragoon games, and he made Crimson Dragon as well. Whoever he was, I very much liked his vision for that world. But Panzer Dragoon Saga was the only one that was actually a game that I particularly enjoyed. I did get through the entirety of the remaster of Panzer Dragoon. It's okay, but it's only okay. Anyway, no worries. Catch you later, Pixel Slapper. Is that it? What did I say? I said something really similar to that. Mine might have been a character from an anime instead, but I was close. I was close. Yeah, I like the Panzer Dragoon world. Just not the games that are in it, and that's all that's in it. So, there we go. I'm an idiot. I think I've run out of things to talk about. I don't think I started with anything to talk about, so we've done well to get this far, but I think it's time to wrap up. But I'm glad that this happened and people came to have a little chat, because I missed this show last week, which was a travesty. Obviously not, like, it's not a travesty in any sense of the word, but I'm glad to have come back to have conversations again. Steam Next Fest. Steam Next Fest has over 3,000 demos. I liked the Devolver Digital, obviously, like, have quite a good social media account. I'm not a core post social media enjoyer, but I liked their post that they had been through the 3,000 demos to pick out the best ones for you to play and just listed their own games. Nicely done. Nicely done. I don't know, there's too many games in Steam Next Fest. How do you filter it to pick out the good ones? I haven't got time for 3,000 demos. You played a Frost Wizard in Dark Age of Camelot. You're scared by XP lost in Avalon City for life. Yeah, I can understand. So I didn't play, I played mostly Asheron's Call 2, which didn't have XP loss, but it did have punishment for dying. Temporary punishment. It made your character weaker for a while and you had to earn it back. And I was okay with that. I was okay with that. A false, absurd, or distorted representation of something. The absurdly lenient sentence is a travesty of justice. What you talking about? That's not what a travesty is. I mean, it is. I mean, sure, whatever. It's fine. I'm reading. Leave me be. You're missing what the fuck happened in gaming. Yeah. My condolences. So that, as a weekly series, it just didn't work out. Can't commit to a weekly series. It's not even true. Like, I could commit to a weekly series. I don't want to commit to a weekly series doing that because it's not getting anywhere. But I don't want to completely stop that kind of video altogether. So my plan, Craig, if I can get to it, is to just do those on a more ad hoc basis to cover particular things as they happen rather than try the weekly roundup. And I know you said that you're not getting your roundups anywhere else or whatever, so it was useful. Now I feel bad for letting you down. But I mean to cover it in other ways, so I will try. You missed that as well, but you understand. It's just a lot to... Mate, it's not a lot. It's just a few hours, really, of work on a Friday to put them together. But it's something that I would dread if there was nothing interesting to talk about. To have committed to doing a video and then not have content for it is like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Sucks. And knowing that I'm the wrong person to talk about most of it as well. Because there's so much of gaming news that I'm like, that's not interesting. I don't care. I've got nothing to say about that. That's what I'm a bad YouTuber. I have very little to say about very many things that people want to hear about. So difficult in that sense to put videos together. But I do plan to still do... I enjoyed making them. I enjoyed the editing and stuff. So I do plan to still put things together when it fits and makes sense to do. Difficult to commit to weekly news content. It is and it isn't. Like, hold on. TV just turn off. I did every week for 6 months on the Game on Daily channel, doing like a similar format of video. You know, in my younger days, and what probably wasn't, it was probably a bit too dry, but I did weekly videos every week for at least 6 months. And it's not that it's not attainable, like I can do that, I'm capable, but it didn't go anywhere, and the new one was following the same pattern. So I was just like, it's a lot as a commitment for me. I'd rather talk about things that are interesting when they happen. That'll work better. Younger days, yep. Everybody was younger back then. I remember it well. Most news isn't news, and it's best to ignore it. Exactly, Dr. Scott Z. But that's not like that's the correct way to regard most of what goes on in the industry. But not if you're trying to like make the content or whatever. Kind of need a different outlook to be able to put that content pump in, and I'm not that person, so just need to pick and choose what makes most sense for me, I guess. Gaming with passion. You're looking at Steam Next Fest and you found a better grounded. Oh no, he's being all antagonistic. What's it called? I mean, also, Steam Next Fest. You're playing stuff. You were playing Painkiller, whatever that's called, the new one, and some other things. I might spend summer Saturday playing some demos. But I'm gonna need some help. Gonna need some professional filtering to help me get the good demos. Don't worry about asking more questions. We don't need more questions. It's fine and relaxed. Yes, Replicant, we should share what cool demos are on Next Fest in the Discord. That would be a useful thing. Also, we should have a spoiler-filled thread to discuss Hades 2. Although I'd also like to do a spoiler-filled video for Hades 2 when some people catch up and finish it with me. Also, we should have many more things going on in there. Many more things and discussions. Because that's my favourite. I've not been active enough there. I know I haven't been active enough there. Not by choice. It's been busy. But I'm going to be in there more, talking more about all of these things. Because that's fun. I like that. The Discord is the enjoyable part. You're awful at Hades. Oh no! Are you awful at Hades 2 as well? Because I'm not, but I'm not good either. I'm okay. It's done. I finished it. That counts for something. Evening again, Johnny. We were just talking about V-Rising earlier. We didn't talk about it very much, I'll be honest, but it came up. Replicant's awful. What are you really good at, Replicant? Because I'm exploring whether people typically have like a style of game that they're good at, that they identify as like, this is mine, this is what I do well. Amin's good at shooting games, like first-person shooters, and he says he's the best at everything, but he's not good at golf games. He's only good at shooting. That's like a clear, yeah, that's your genre. I'm good at Hades and isometric games, and that's it. I'm not good at anything else. When I mentioned Hades to Luke on the podcast, he was like, oh, he's really good at Returnal. And that's what got me thinking about it. It's like, oh, I wonder if everyone has these particular games where they're like, yeah, this is it. I'm good at this one. I'm good at this one. So, Rep, you say Souls-likes and shooters, but you never join us for the shooters. So how are we to believe you? We play shooters all the time. You just need to jump on and play them with us. Prove that you can something. The music is musicking. Is it too loud? Am I too quiet? The music that I can hear at the moment is the one that I use for all my game streams before I start. It's the intro music. Yes, it is the intro music. But do you know what game it's from? Does anyone remember what game it's from? No one's played Guess the Track yet. Craig, you think you're good at platformers. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, because everyone knows that platformers are fundamentally children's games. So you've essentially like come out and bragged that you can do the stuff for children. Sorry, Greg. That's funny. That tickled me a little bit. Thanks for that. I know grown-ups play platform games. I know there's even like speedrunning communities built around them. And I know that the modern ones, yeah, Asperbots and stuff like that have levels that are genuinely supposed to be challenging, but it's still funny. Dr. Scottsy is so good at Rocket League, he refuses to play it with others for their sake. Well, I'm not that good at Rocket League, and I would like you to join us. See, people around like our little community, they're like, oh, he's quite good at Rocket League. I'm not. I'm terrible at Rocket League. I remember playing Rocket League with a random group of people once that I vaguely knew one. I knew one of them from previous time playing. Oh, what did I know him from? What did I know him from? Which of my long-term games was it? Actually, it was World of Warcraft. I knew him from World of Warcraft. And he invited me to play Rocket League with his friends, and they were just pissing about. And they were all so much better than me. It was difficult. It was painful. It was shameful. It was still fun because I like Rocket League, but like I was so far out of my depth. And then I play it in community nights, and I get gradually worse and worse and worse and worse playing there. But that's okay. You're the scrubbiest scrub of all time. It doesn't matter, right? I kind of got from your tone that you were joking about how good you were at it. But nonetheless, when we play that one for community nights, and it does come up again and again, you should join us. There are plenty of people that are bad at it. It doesn't matter. It's good fun. Replicant, you're good at World of Warcraft. Tell me, what's your World of Warcraft achievements? Help me out here. What have you got? Because World of Warcraft has plenty of bragging opportunities, right? It's all set up with its various mythic things and challenges and PvP ranks and all of that. What part of World of Warcraft are you good at? I'm not that good at World of Warcraft. I did used to play it organised, like, but only like Wrath of the Lich King 10-man era. I did alright, got through everything there, but I wouldn't say I was particularly good at it. But maybe if I just flipped the camera and played it more isometric, I would have been brilliant. Things that we learn about ourselves over time. I wouldn't have been brilliant. So, let's get to, while we're still speaking of it, wait, speaking of platformers, there is Ultimate Sheep Raccoon demo. Is that Ultimate Chicken Horse sequel? I guess I'm alright on, when we do our silly multiplayer party games, I normally do alright for myself. I wouldn't say I'm good at them, but I do alright for myself. Which is good because Amin was suggesting we play some things using Parsec, and I'm going to look into that. Because that'll open up a wealth of local co-op games to be played remotely. That might work out well for expanding the amount of games we can play and inviting people to play them that may not own them. Because they're local co-op shared over the internet. So that's a thing to explore, coming soon to community nights, hopefully, probably. Right, our first question that is up, I'm going to get straight to, and it is, from Amin, are you going to play any Steam Next Fest games? I think I'm going to spend a bunch of Saturday streaming a variety of them. Maybe. Or I might not, you know. Don't trust me. I'm not trustworthy. I commit to things. I say, oh, I'm going to play Battlefield after the stream today, and then I just fuck off. I might just fuck off. You might not see me for another 3 weeks after this, but I might play some of the Steam Next Fest games. I don't know. Feels like a thing that I should do. And I'm going to need your help to identify the good ones, should it come to actually do it. Pete, decades ago... Wait, everybody else shout out your Steam Next Fest demos while we go. Or just stick them on the Discord place. We'll make a post in the forum or something. But yell them because I'm curious. Decades ago, this is from Pete, we used to pay monthly to stay in great games we enjoyed. Were we chumps or visionaries? What games did you pay monthly for, Pete? Wait. See, I was thinking about this just yesterday. As I so frequently do, it comes and goes. Basically every time Blizzard have a sale on World of Warcraft, I come back to remembering how games used to be in terms of monetization and service games and what is or isn't good and fair. The reason that it came up, let me see if I can find the email actually. Just on my phone, I'm not even going to show you. This is for my sake, but I want to get it right. Badger's secret forum. Now stick it in the public one. That's fine for everyone, right? It's fine content for everyone to discuss. It's not like we've got loads of bots and artists selling crap in Discord at the moment. So do it there. It'll be fine. What email was it? Blizzard. Oh, the emails, it's too many. Damn, I'd love to tell you I'm popular, but that's not the case. I've just got a lot of spam. And I might be looking at the wrong email account. Oh no. No. What email address? Oh, it's there. It's open on my other email account, ready to go. No, I clicked it. I clicked the link. I can get, because there's a sale on right now, a Spooktacular Savings. The Spooktacular Savings vanish soon. Sees markdown magic before the spell breaks. There's still time. What the hell? My door's opening. Okay, there's no cats. That's a relief. What's going on? Doesn't matter. It's not for me, I don't think. Yeah, so spook stuff happening. It says that there's a secret deal. No, it doesn't say secret. It says a great deal. Level 85 character boost. Brackets. Progression game services category. Instead of costing £49, there's a 34% discount. Which means I could buy level 85 character boost for £32. How dare they? So, to answer your question, Pete, we were living the good life back then, paying a humble monthly fee for a humble monthly service, getting given content as part of our subscription, keeping the upkeep of the games and the servers going, which was, you know, it was a different time, and those servers were paid for in a more direct way than they are with the cloud era we live in now. I'm not saying they're not paid for directly, but scaling is very different as a proposition now. Yeah, I would so much prefer to pay my $9.99 a month to get a fair amount of content back, to keep a game alive, to keep its story pushing forwards, to keep its world expanding, and to keep the developers working on it, rather than, and I know it's conceptually the same, right? I can buy that level 85 character boost so that developers can keep working on the game, in theory, and greedy publishers, all the rest of it, blah 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 blah. But in theory, it's still the same concept of they need money so that they can keep pumping out content. But I just prefer the simplicity of a subscription. And I know it's in terms of value proposition, you want to like look at the back and forth, like pay $9.99 I used to pay, I think, for Ashran's Call 2, and probably the same for Warcraft. There or thereabouts, might have been a couple of quid less. But to pay that amount for a single game to keep getting content, okay, it's not the same as Game Pass now, but a few years ago, that's what Game Pass used to cost for like hundreds of games. So I get that it's a difficult sell side by side alongside Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and all the rest of it to subscribe for a single game. But I was happy, Pete. I was happy. Isn't that what counts? Isn't that what matters? I think so. Evening Gamsey. The search bar does exist, but it wouldn't have helped because I was looking in the wrong email account. But thank you for your advice. I will bear it in mind for the future. You both love and hate every time you hear Spooktacular. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop saying it because I don't like to elicit either of those emotions. I don't like anybody to feel anything at all. So I'm going to not say that. Evening, Tom. Right. Next question says cats. I'm not getting the cats. Okay, I'm not getting the cats. They're too much trouble right now. The cats are awesome, right? I got them for the Arcadia round table. I brought them out for a little show, right? And I was wearing a black t-shirt, so Nox just disappeared and wasn't very visible as he tried to climb my face. But Wolf was more visible, and they're both still there. They're still cool. They get along now. They're way cute. They play and they sleep, and that's mostly what they do, right? But this room that I'm in right now has a lot of dangling cables. I've got a mouse And I've got a mouse. And if I move that mouse, the cable moves. And if a cable moves, well. Tom, we have no water. Oh, you don't have any water at home. You need it to live. You need it to live. Have you got like bottled water to get you through? Hope so, hope so. Yeah, so that was it. Now they're best friends. But if I let them in this room and I move a mouse, then they savage the cable and pull the mouse down. And that's all well and good. But if you've seen any of my room, which most of you haven't, like I've got a PC over there with a PCI Express extender and a capture card hanging outside where a case should be. So there's an expensive capture card just dangling out of an open PC case with a graphics card that I can see wilting the motherboard right now because it's too heavy, and lots of cables, and that will have a kitten in it, and it will be an expensive mistake. So don't be triggered by it. You know that my PCs are a mess, replicant. In fact, my main PC also, I reckon there's holes in there that they could get through, because I've got all of the top of the tower on my main PC. The door's a bit open because it helps. It helps the airflow. It doesn't matter what anybody says about a nice cable management and blah, blah, blah. Just open it all up. It's fine. Keeps it cool. Right. On top of it, I've got the top of the casing off. And there's a triple radiator there covering most of it. But at the front of that radiator is a kitten-sized hole. And actually, now that I think about it, at the back there's probably a kitten-sized hole. So if they felt like exploring, then there'll be a kitten inside my more closed-off PC tower as well. One of them really likes exploring. One of them just likes being naughty for the sake of being naughty. Like, he likes the challenge of trying to get through a door he's not supposed to go through. That's the black one, Nox. He just charges through for the sake of it, gets through a door into a place he's not supposed to be, and then he's like, yes, did it, and lets you pick him up and put him back. But the other one, Wolf, he'll burst out and explore. He just wants to be everywhere that he can't be. Any little gap, any drawer, any space that he can crawl into, he's immediately in there and lost forever. So it can take quite a long time to recover them once they've gone somewhere they're not supposed to be. So next question. I'm going to see cats too. I've got no more cat stories for right now. They're cool. They're fun. I like them. And that's enough. What's the meaning of life? Pretty sure there's not. There's not one. So we should all give up. Sorry, Johnny. It's not like the inspiring answer you might have been looking for. It's not Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you know. It's just like, no. Why is cats the meaning of life? I saw that one come in. Well, Tom, I'm gonna say not again. I'm gonna stick with my original answer of none and not and no. None and not and no. But we get by as best we can. Chronic. Wait. Who's got a rational fear? I've got a rational fear. I'm scared of being stabbed in the eye. That's my main number one life fear. I don't really want to be stabbed in the eye, but I think that's quite rational. What's this fear? I don't see it. You're very scared of the water stopping. Oh. But that's happened to Tom. You can't... That's mean. And then you're calling me a bastard. That's also mean. So, Chronic. It's Poltergeist, The Gates, Lost Boys, Stephen King movies, Creep shows, Friday the 13th and Freddy's have mostly been watched so far for you. You're talking your Halloween spooky month. I'm not going to say spooktacular because it elicits emotions. Horror films that you've watched. Are you getting through some spooky games as well, Chronic? I cheated the questions. Excellent. If you're not cheating, you are not trying. And I am trying. So, Five Nights at Freddy's? No. I read a question before you selected it. Yeah, I'm very... something. No apology. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we've reached the end. Yay! I've upset someone. That's the kind of emotion. I said no. Oh no, Baz has got a fear. These are all emotions. They're all banned. Nobody is to feel anything. Not fear, not upset, not joy, not love, not hate, not anger, not peace. Just be neutral and empty. That's all we're allowed for the time being. Oh wait, there's more questions. Do I just go right on ahead and read it? Yes, I do. But no being upset. Which Hades game is better? Oh shit. I've skipped ahead. Which Hades game is better? The first one, Johnny. The first one is better. And if you... It's a complex question. It's not. It's a simple question. And the simple answer is that the first one is better. But the second part of the answer, to unpack it a little bit, they are both extremely worth playing. And if you're in a position where you have played neither, you should play the first one and then the second one. Because it's not like the second one is a massive technical leap or anything like that. So the first one is still absolutely and entirely worth playing before you move on to the second one. Rogue Legacy, nah. I don't like Rogue Legacy very much. The 2D ones aren't so my speciality. I say that. I'm okay at some things that are side on. Maybe I should play Silk Song. Nah, not going to play Silk Song. Not going to play Silk Song. I've seen only bad things about it. So that one can stay away. Pete. Oh, Pete. We don't do that one today. Tom doesn't say that. Tom saves that question for a Thursday. Not for a Thursday. Whatever day the podcast is. He saves that one for a Saturday because it's too much for me to think of multiple things that are not to like. But what's not to like tonight is being yelled at. And feelings. Those are my two answers for today. And yeah, on Saturday, we'll cover topics and things. During the day, hopefully I will get some of the Steam Next Fest things done. It's not to say nothing is happening before Saturday though. What days have we still got? Where are we? Today is one of them days, and on some of the other days, some of the things are going to happen. And on Saturday we'll have the podcast, but there will be some other things too. Yes? Yeah. Yes. There will be. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. That's the end. So thank you everybody for coming through for another Q&Asa. This will continue. It will be on Tuesday next week. There are things between now and then, and I'm confused. I don't know what things and when. But if you get in Discord, which all of you are already in as far as I know, then you'll be able to keep track of my whimsical ways and figure things out as we go along, which is how I'm doing it. Night, everybody. Not good night. Battlefield? I don't know. I'm confused.